night the emails died, the city got quiet, too quiet. Cases used to rot in shared mailboxes like forgotten bodies. Customers screaming into the void. Then the autonomous agents moved in. Cold, precise, tireless, no inbox mercy. If your inbox still runs the city, this episode is for you. Tonight I'll show you the 3 operators that cleaned up the streets. The case scanner, the traffic controller, and the shadow operator. Plus a noir demo and the real case files. But first, step into the crime scene. The crime scene. Email, ticketing gone rotten. The air was stale, dead letters everywhere. I walked the alleys of a shared inbox. Flags like blood splatters, forward chains like alleyway rumors, the neon flicker of unread emails, timestamp gaps like cold case files. The scene told a story nobody wanted to read. Email isn't the villain, it's the witness. The problem is the city we built around it. Manual triage, copy-paste rituals, and a faith in I'll get to it that never pays out. People go home, agents get sick, shifts change, the thread breaks, the damage is done. I checked the sign-in logs, too clean. A 2-day gap between first contact and first response. A weekend dead zone that ate apologies for breakfast. Monday mornings, bodies in piles, auto replies, angry follow-ups, and any update, scratches carved into subject lines, no remorse. Here's what everyone sees. A busy team, a full queue, we're doing our best. Okay, but actually, the pattern's darker. You can feel when a case turns cold. Second email turns sharp. Third email CCs a manager. Fourth email threatens churn. The longer it sits, the louder it screams. And the crimes? Messy. Misfiled threads. One customer spreads evidence across 3 chains. Nobody stitches it together. The story gets lost. Attachment amnesia. Quotes, contracts, receipts disappear in a sea of re and FWD. The truth sits 5 layers down. Ownership roulette. Everyone reads, nobody owns. The case bleeds out in plain sight. Meanwhile, the city pretends the inbox is a queue. It's not. It's a street corner. Anyone can shout. Nothing moves until a human picks it up and drags it to the precinct. That's your first wound. The second wound is routing by vibe. An agent likes billing, so they take it. Someone knows product A, so it lands with them. That works until it doesn't. Vacations, turnover, a Tuesday. Cases drift. SLAs slip. The calendar fills with blame. The third wound is time. Copy, paste, edit, apologize. Ask for details you already have attached, because finding them is slower than asking again. The customer thinks you're stalling. You're not. You're drowning. Remember the phrase, dead letters. Say it again. Dead letters. Every minute a message sits, it dies a little. Context leaks, sentiment soured. What should have been a clean fix becomes a public autopsy on trust. I've seen that act before. Look at the evidence. The backlog spikes at the end of every quarter. New product launches create a flood of near duplicates, but nobody harvests the pattern into a playbook. Agents reinvent the answer 12 times before lunch. Then the shift ends. The answer walks out with them. The worst part hasn't even happened yet. A VIP writes in, same mailbox, same pile. The timer starts. You won't even know you missed it until the phone rings and the account team is on fire. Your "we care" statement becomes a punchline. Can we talk about the myth of the heroic agent? The one person who knows everything. The one who fixes the hard stuff. You celebrate them. Then they leave. Baseline drifted. Knowledge rots. The city forgets how to be safe. Here's what I think is really happening. You're asking humans to do what machines do better. Remember, classify, route, recall. Humans are for judgment, negotiation, edge cases, not sifting the gutter for a case number buried in paragraph 3. Plot twist. The emails never wanted to be read. They wanted to be recognized, pulled apart, filed, mapped to a heartbeat. The system didn't listen. Dead letters. Again. And every crime scene leaves clues. The logs told the truth. Enter the autonomous agents. 3 operators clean house. The city didn't change because people tried harder. It changed because 3 operators walked in and took the work humans kept dropping. Cold hands, steady pulse, no small talk. First, the case scanner, the crime scene scanner. Email to case with a badge and a camera. It watches the alleys. Support at, info at, the just forward it cesspool, and it doesn't blink. An email gasps one last time. The scanner reads the motive. Subject lines, bodies of text, attachments, order numbers hiding in paragraph 3, serial tags tucked in footers. It pulls the clues, pins them to a new file, and stamps a case number before the victim hits the floor. Observation: everyone thinks email is chaos. They're not wrong. Insight: chaos has patterns if you look fast enough. Evidence: the scanner turns dead letters into structured fields. Customer, product, priority, on arrival. It extracts the case heartbeat, not the noise. Humans hesitate. The scanner doesn't. Yeah, it files the photos too. PDFs get tagged, screenshots get OCR'd, threads get stitched. 1 story, not 3. You don't beg the customer to resend receipts you already have. You just open the drawer. It's there. The scanner put it there. Then the traffic controller. Unified routing, the grid. It stands over the map of your city and moves cases like lights through intersections. Rules, skills, capacity. No wandering souls. No, I like billing, so I'll take it. It watches queues, timers, holidays. It makes sure the right detective gets the right case at the right minute, or it pulls rank and escalates. The streets stay clear. Observation: humans route by vibe. Insight: vibes burn crews. Traffic doesn't. Evidence: skill tags, queues, work streams. Each case inherits a path based on intent, customer tier, and SLA heat. If the lane clogs, the controller opens another. If the light stays red too long, it flips it. Again, humans hesitate. The controller doesn't. Here's where people get jumpy. But what if it misroutes? The map keeps receipts. Routing diagnostics read like a flight recorder. Intake, classification, assignment. If a case crosses the wrong bridge, you'll see which rule built it and why. Fix the rule. The city adjusts. Too clean. Finally, the shadow operator. Copilot Studio, wired into customer service. It sits in the room but speaks when it must. It reads the case file, scans the archive, and drafts the line you were about to type, only better. It doesn't ask, it doesn't wait, it acts. Summaries with teeth, replies with sources, knowledge pulled from the stacks without dust on the cover. Observation: agents burn time on words, not work. Insight: languages work when you're tired. Evidence: the shadow operator builds a reply that cites the article, references the steps already taken, and asks for the one thing you actually need, not the 5 you don't. Tone tuned, length set, translated, if the street demands it. You feel the beat shift. Relief when the scanner opens cases you didn't touch. Inevitability when the controller floods the right desk at the right hour. Dread, the good kind, when the shadow operator drafts a reply before you finish your sigh. Humans hesitate, agents don't. And it stacks. The scanner catches the email. The controller routes it to teeth. The shadow operator builds the answer while the detective skims the file. Minutes turn to seconds. The SLA timer blinks, then shuts up. Dead letters. Revived. But who's in charge? Governance. The law. No agent runs wild. Every move is logged. Every draft shows its sources. The controller can't assign outside its district. The scanner only opens files you authorize. The shadow operator speaks. You edit. You own. Human judgment stays on the trigger. This isn't a miracle. It's muscle memory you can trust. One more beat. A 0 so the email hits. 001 intent locked. 02 case created. 3 routed and written. Faster than regret. 3 operators, 1 cleanup crew. The city breathes. The inbox stops being a crime scene. And the logs, they didn't lie. The case files, 3 cities, same cleanup crew. Case number 0147. Retail, the inbox that never slept, 2,500 emails a day. Dead letters stacked like boxes in a back alley. Before the cleanup, first replies crawled in after 48 to 72 hours. Customers didn't wait. They vanished. I opened the drawer. The scanner had done its sweep. Product codes hiding in body text were already tagged. Order IDs carved into footers, pulled out, cleaned, filed. Screenshots OCR'd, receipts stitched to the body, not dangling off a FWD. The controller traced the grid. Skill tags matched to returns, shipping damage, size exchange. Capacity lights flicked, tiered customers rode the faster lane. When Green Jacket Order 1183 zipper split hit the street, it didn't wander. It landed with the right detective, first try. The shadow operator spoke low, drafted a reply with a reference to KB 2499, the returns policy exception clause they actually needed. 1 line for empathy, 1 line for the shipping label. No fluff, no remorse. Observation, high volume isn't chaos. Insight, it's repetition in disguise. Evidence, auto triage took 60% on day 1. First responses sped up 40%. The neon of unread dimmed. The city exhaled. Case number 0228. Insurance. Claims dripping through cracks. 700 service emails a day. Agents played archaeologist, brushing dust off forms and attachments. Every claim felt new. It wasn't. I checked the sign-in logs. Too clean. A backlog that never confessed. The scanner pulled the confession anyway. Severity phrases, fracture, total loss, water ingress, lit like sirens. Policy numbers once buried rose to the header, photos of damaged roofs. OCR tagged hail, shingle, garage. The story stitched itself. The controller kept time with a metronome. Medical claims to clinical eyes. Auto claims to the adjusters who knew bent metal from fraud. Work streams split by urgency and policy tier. When capacity hit the red, reassignment wasn't a debate, it was gravity. The shadow operator drafted the hard notes. We've logged your claim. Here's your reference. Here's what we need. 2 photos at these angles, date of incident, police report number if available. It cited the clause in the policy. It didn't ask twice. Observation. Manual classification feels safe. Insight. It's slow death. Evidence. Autonomous classification plus routing cut the backlog by roughly 30%. Agents stopped triaging. They started deciding. Humans hesitated less because the routing never did. A claimant wrote, "You replied in 2 minutes." The timer blinked, then went quiet. The system didn't gloat. It just watched. Case number 0316, HR BPO, the black hole where tickets vanished. 1,000 tickets a day, shared inboxes, no case creation. 30% fell through the gap and didn't scream on the way down. I checked the drawer, empty, but the scanner didn't care. It watched intake act like a night watchman. Contracts attached as PDFs were tagged to benefits enrollment or contract amendment without drama. Subject lines like "need help" mapped to intent because the body told the truth. The agent didn't ask. It acted. The controller drew new borders. Queues by client, by region, by SLA heat. A misrouted case left a footprint in diagnostics, intake, classification, assignment. So the fix was a rule, not a postmortem. The street stayed clear. The shadow operator leaned on the archives. It pulled onboarding steps from the knowledge base without dust. It wrote, "Welcome aboard. Here are your next 3 actions," and linked the actual forms. It didn't copy from a template. It stitched from facts. Observation. Missed emails aren't ghosts. Insight. They're unclaimed citizens. Evidence. Capture rose to 93%. Assignment hit 100%. The drawer filled with files that used to vanish. HR stopped apologizing to payroll. Payroll stopped blaming HR. The city got boring in the best way. 3 cities, same backbone, same cleanup crew. Retail's clue was product codes hiding in the noise. Insurance's clue was severity language in plain sight. HR's clue was contracts that arrived silent but legible. The scanner pulled the clues. The controller drew the routes. The shadow operator wrote the lines you wish you had time to write. Patterns emerged. Ingest at the edge. Email to case where the clues enter the city. Intent detection fast. Language is motive when you let it talk. Archives that answer. Knowledge kept current by agents who don't forget. Case creation on impact. Stamp it before it hits the floor. Routing like traffic, not vibes. Skills, capacity, and heat maps. Escalation as law, not panic. Timers and transfers without raised voices. I've seen that act before. The cities thought they were special. They weren't. The problems rhymed. So did the fixes. People ask for miracles. They don't need one. They need receipts. The logs gave them. Intake time. Classification hit rate. First response. Backlog trend. Show the chart. Watch the shoulders drop. The night the emails died, the drawers finally closed. Quiet. Clean. No remorse. The noir demo. 3 seconds faster than regret. Zorro. The email hits support at. The neon flickers. One last gasp. The case scanner wakes. It doesn't ask. It doesn't wait. It acts. Subject. Order 183. Zipper split. Body. 2 short lines. 1 long wound. Attachment. A photo. Dark and grainy. The scanner reads the motive. Order ID scraped from the line that hid it. Customer matched. Product resolved from a breadcrumb in the footer. The case heartbeat locks in. 001 intent returns manufacturing defect, confidence high, severity modest, VIP tier detected from the account's past spend. The scanner doesn't celebrate. It stamps a file. Case 004231 opens in the drawer. The photos OCR tags, zipper, jacket, tear. The attachment gets a badge. It lands with the body not loose in the alley. You see the file fill itself. Title, customer, product, priority. The timeline starts breathing. First contact recorded without human fingers. No remorse. 002. The traffic controller studies the grid. Rules light up like intersections. Skills, apparel returns. Capacity, green on desk B, yellow on desk C. SLA heat, warm, not screaming. Q, retail tier 2. The controller flips the light. Assignment flows to Detective Rivera. 3 similar cases closed this morning, still fresh. Routing diagnostics keep the receipts. Intake, email, classification, returns, manufacturing, assignment, skills plus capacity, rule set, WS retail returns V3. If anyone argues with the map, the flight recorder answers. Yeah, too clean. 003. The shadow operator leans in. It reads the case. It reads the archive. It drafts before you breathe. Hi, Maria. Saw your note on order 1183. The zipper split on the forest jacket. Sorry about that. We've started a replacement. 2 options, a prepaid label for return or keep it and we'll discount 30%. Reply label or keep. Under the words, it cites KB 2499, the exception clause for defects within 30 days. It pulls the shipping label macro, but holds the trigger until you nod. Tone, warm, brief. Language, English. Length, tight. If the street demands Spanish, it translates on command. The operator shows its sources. You own the send. Timestamp rolls. 000312. Draft ready. Rivera skims, adjusts 1 word, clicks. The city moves. New scene. Insurance. 0 key. Subject. Water all over. Body. Basement flooded last night. Attachments. 2 photos. 1 warped PDF. The scanner tags water ingress. Pulls policy 7734 from the signature. OCRs the images. Basement. Standing water. Drywall. 001. Intent, property damage, flood event. Severity, medium-high. The controller sees the heat. Q, claims regional east. Skills, property adjusters with flood history. Capacity, Tomas is red, Priya is green. The light turns, assignment lands. SLA clock set to 2 hours for first contact. 0002. The shadow operator writes what you should say the first time. We've logged claim 88421. To move fast, send. Date of incident, 2 photos at eye level, any estimate if you have one. It pulls clause P12 for water damage, links the self-serve upload portal, keeps the ask to 3 bullets. No throat clearing, no fluff. The file shows 3 seconds of work you didn't do. The logs tell the truth. Intake, intent, case, route, draft, faster than regret. HRR, BPO, 1 more cut. 0, true, subject. Need help. Body, new starter. Monday, where do I get benefits forms? Attachment, contract.pdf. The scanner reads the contract header, detects enrollment, tags client Acme West. 01. Intent, onboarding, benefits. The controller routes by client first, then region, then heat. Q, Acme West N, skills, onboarding specialist. Capacity, blue, empty lanes. Assignment lands without a meeting. Show 2. The shadow operator stitches the steps. Welcome aboard. Here are your next 3 actions. It links the exact forms, not a maze. It cites KBO and B07, 1 line for timing, 1 for support. Done. You watch the timers blink, then settle. 00300, 3 cities, same beat. The scanner cleans the alley. The controller clears the streets. The shadow operator writes the truth. Build this muscle and inboxes stop being crime scenes. The city sleeps. The system watches. The blueprint. Build a city that doesn't bleed. You don't fix a city with hope. You fix it with a map. Simple streets, clear laws, agents where humans stall. If humans can't do it fast, agents must. That's the rule. Step 1. Ingest at the edge. Turn on email to case for every mailbox that smells like support. Support ta. Help. Intake at. That's where the clues enter the city. Use server-side sync. Don't trust a human forward. Add 1 portal intake for clean citizens. 1 chat line if you must. Keep it lean. Every source tied to 1 drawer. 1 heartbeat. No remorse. Metaphor. The gates. If the gates are open, clues walk in. If the gates are closed, clues die on the sidewalk. Don't let them die. Step 2. Intent without ceremony. Stand-up classification. Start dirty. Subject contains refund. Body mentions damage. Attachment invoice. PDF. That's your first net. Then teach it phrases that matter in your town. Reset MFA. Change address. Benefits enrollment. Add 3 labels you'd bet your badge on. Don't chase perfection, chase coverage. The interrogator reads the note, not the perfume. Metaphor, the whisper test. If a case whispers its motive, the agent should hear it before anyone speaks. Otherwise, you're already late. Step 3, archives that answer. Your knowledge base is a morgue. If it doesn't feed the living, start with 10 articles that close half your tickets. Clean the titles. Date the facts. Add 1 line the shadow operator can quote. Turn on Copilot Knowledge Agent to draft from real resolutions. Supervisors, review, no dust, no folklore. Baseline drifted once. Don't let it drift again. Metaphor? The stacks. If the stacks smell like old paper and failed SLAs, burn them. Build shelves you can trust. Agents don't have time to wander. Step 4. Case creation on impact. Auto-create on intent. Stamp the file before the victim hits the floor. Pull customer product priority from the body. Pin every attachment to the record. Force a title that means something when read cold. Add a timer on first response. The system starts the clock, not a human. 3 required fields. No more. The file breathes, or it doesn't. Metaphor, the stamp. No stamp, no case. No case, no justice. Stamp fast. Step 5, routing like traffic, not vibes. Build 3 queues, that's it. Tier 1, specialists, VIP. Add skill tags that actually exist. Billing, hardware, onboarding. Capacity profiles so the controller knows who's drowning. 1 work stream per intake channel. Classification maps to queue plus skill plus SLA heat. Turn on fallback rules. When in doubt, the city sends it home to Tier 1. Diagnostics on. Always. Metaphor? The grid. The grid doesn't care who likes a lane. It moves metal. Your controller should too. Step 6. Escalation as law, not panic. Set 1 SLA, first response. Pick a number you'll keep when the sky falls. Add a breach action. Auto-assign to the next queue. Notify a supervisor. Draft the apology with a real timestamp. Add 1 more SLA if you must. Resolution for VIP. No heroics. No begging. The judge bangs the gavel. The case moves. Metaphor. The courthouse. If the courthouse is quiet, the city works. If it's loud, you built theater, not law. Step 7. Shadow operator on the wire. Wire Copilot Studio into your case form. Give it the stacks, not your soul. Define 3 prompts it can't screw up. First reply. Ask for missing info. Close with steps taken. Require sources. Force a human send. Track accept rate. If it writes junk, that's on your archives, not the ghost. Metaphor. The stenographer. It writes what happened. You decide what stands. Step 8. Measure the blood. Weekly, not someday. Auto triage rate. Manual handoffs. First response time. Backlog slope. Miss routes by rule. Case reopen rate. Publish the chart where everyone can see it. The city planner, chief automation officer, owns the line. If it dips, fix the street, not the driver. Metaphor. The pulse. If you can't feel it, the city's already dead. Build it this way and inboxes stop being crime scenes. Gates open, notes read, files stamped, streets clear, judges strict, ghosts helpful. The city sleeps, the system watches. Under the hood, the district map. Here's the district map. No smoke, no mirrors. The precinct is DATAVERSE. Every file lives there. Stamped, numbered, no remorse. The streets are work streams. Email, portal, chat. Each a lane with signs the controller obeys. Classification sits at the first light. Skills, priority, heat. It paints the route. Queues are precinct desks. Tier 1, specialists. VIP, capacity profiles say who's drowning. The controller listens. Routing diagnostics are the flight recorder. Intake, classification, assignment. If a case takes the wrong bridge, the log names the cop who waved it through. Fix the rule. Again. Archives are the stacks, knowledge base tied tight to cases. Copilot reads, cites, and leaves fingerprints. If the stacks smell like old paper and failed SLAs, that's on you. The interrogation room is the contact center console. Live chat, voice, real-time sentiment. If the beat spikes red, escalation bangs the gavel. Governance is the law. Roles, environments, DLP, safety gates. The judge, the shadow operator can't touch what it doesn't know. The scanner can't open what you don't permit. Every draft shows sources. The city sleeps. The system watches. I checked the sign-in logs. They didn't lie. The night the emails died, the city finally breathed. Quiet. Clean. Final thought. If humans can't do it fast, agents must. That's the rule that keeps trust alive. Tell me your dirtiest inbox crime in the comments. I'll bring the agents and the map. Subscribe if you want the Noir playbook on your desk every week. Don't let your tenant become another case file. Stay vigilant.